In today's video, we are going to do something fun and exciting, something new that I've never done before. We are going to build our very own palette. I have a ton of single eyeshadows. I have been collecting them, and the whole reason that I have been collecting them is to build palettes. When Andi from Andi Does Stuff suggested that as one of our monthly collabs, we build our own palette, I was all in. So this is my monthly collab with Andi, and Andi's information will be linked down in the description box below as usual, along with the link to her video so that you can go see what kind of palette that she built. Hey howdy, hey y'all, Leanna here. Let's get right into building this palette. So let's start with just looking at all of the different palettes that I have full of my single shadows. I'm not exactly sure which direction I'm going to go in. I did look up a few palettes to see if I wanted to attempt to dupe some of them, and the only palette that I really looked at that I wouldn't mind duping is the Natasha Denona Star palette, which has been discontinued and you cannot get anymore, and it's a beautiful palette. I do have it pulled up over here on my monitor. I don't know if I will go that route. I just kind of want to look through my collection and maybe intuitively pick some shades. This is the empty palette that I'm going to use to build my palette. It has a nice clear top, not as clear as I would like. It's kind of frosted a little, but that's fine. And I don't know if I'm going to do 9 or if I'm going to do 12 shades. And of course my camera's like, what are we doing? I don't know what to focus on. Alright, there we go. This first magnetic palette is a palette that I bought from Davina Cosmetics. This is the Hecate palette. It was an exclusive in 2022. I didn't look, but I believe that she still has these available on her website. It is a very nice palette. And in this palette, I have my Davina shadows, my Luxie, and some Lethal Cosmetics shades. I believe that there is some Cleonda in here as well. Yes, there is. Next are my Give Me Glow singles, and when I was purchasing these, I purchased one too many to fill up the palette, but it lays up there very nicely. These are their larger pans. What size are these? I'll have to look on their website to see what size these are, but they have gone to these smaller pans now, but their shadows are gorgeous. My Sydney Grace palettes, these do not necessarily have Sydney Grace in them. This is just some extra shades that I had that are perfect for setting my eye primer, so I just kind of put them in here. I do have these 3 here that are Zoe or Zoe. I forget how to pronounce that, but I bought 3 shades from that brand, and they're in here. And then we have 3 unmentionables that are in here as well. I will not be pulling anything from this palette, so I'm going to set that aside. And when I get things and they send me stickers, I like to put the stickers on my palettes to kind of dress them up. It makes me happy. These are, I don't have my shadows separated. I think most of these are Sydney Grace shadows. I'm thinking about possibly rearranging all of my shadows and putting them in the palettes by brand. All the shadows in this palette are all Makeup Geek, which if you've been around for a while, you know that Makeup Geek went out of business. I do believe that she is working on rebranding, but Love Makeup Geek. I possibly may pull some shadows out of this palette. These massive Give Me Glow palettes, I don't even remember how many shades these hold, but they went on sale. They were so cheap on their website, and they don't offer these anymore. They're full. These are all of my matte shadows, and 95% of these are single shadows that I purchased. Some of these down here are shades that I depotted from out of some of the palettes that I knew that I was not going to use anymore. And in this one are all of my beautiful shimmers. They're so pretty. I don't know why, it just makes me happy just to look at them. My video setup is not very friendly for this because these palettes are so large. I do think I want to kind of go with a cool toned, kind of mauve-y type palette. That's kind of where I'm leaning. We'll see where that ends up. But right off the bat, this shade here, that of course the camera doesn't want to pick up on, is speaking to me. And this is Sydney Grace, and it is Autumn Love. The second shade that is calling to me is this. This is an Anastasia Beverly Hills shade, I'm pretty sure. And it is H-A-U-X. I'm not real sure how to pronounce that, but this is an Anastasia shade. It's in that same color family, but a little bit darker. This one has a little bit more of a lavender pull to it. I do know that I want a blue. That is Northeaster from Sydney Grace. This is Crashing Waves from Sydney Grace, and I believe that this is the blue that I want. I remember using this, and it was a gorgeous blue. Let's see what this one is. This is Indiana Love. That's a pretty blue as well, but it's quite different. Once I get the shades all chosen, I will swatch them for you. I think I want to go with this shade. This is called Brilliant Realm. My camera does not like this angle, but I think I'm going to go with this shade here, which is Warm Scarves. And I'm going to look at some of my Makeup Geek, because I love these cool browns, as you can see, because I've hit pan in both of those. I definitely want this cooler tone shade. This is called Bedrock. And I feel like I want something a little bit deeper, so I think I'm going to go with this shade, which is Take for Granted. Oh yeah, that's perfect. Are those all the mattes that I want? I might come back for this pink. That is a beautiful pink, and that's also one of my favorite colors, but I'm trying, favorite shades. I'm trying to use shades that I don't normally use, but I definitely want that brown. This is really pretty, and so is this. They both, I believe, have a flip to them. I know this has a flip. Do I want that one? I might want that one. This is Birthday Girl. It's a multi-chrome, and I just recently got that from Sydney Grace. I think I'm going to put that there. I may change my mind. Is there anything here that I want? This is Halo. Oh, look at. Oh, that's got a pretty yellow gold shift to it. Do I want that? I might want that. I know that that's kind of on the warmer side with that yellow goldish, but it also is icy, and I'm definitely looking for icy to go with my cool. Is there anything here that I want? What is this? This is Scream, and that is from Luxie, or Luxie. That's a little underwhelming, isn't it? This is Earth Shine. Oh, that's pretty. I like that. What is that one? I don't want to come out. This is Bismuth. I think I'll take that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's 10. I also know that I want this one here, which is Tangy Citrus. This is a Sydney Grace shadow. Beautiful, beautiful shadow. I love that one a lot. And what else to balance this out? I feel like I need something to balance it. I see several. I may end up going over what I said. I know that I want a light, even though I have this one. Let's put that over in the corner. I know that I want a light shade, one of these lighter shades here, up here, for like an inner corner. One of these has a red flip to it. This is Velvet. This one is called Red Mist. It has kind of a pinky red flip to it. I think I'll do that one. I have quite a few shades up here that look almost exactly alike. I think, oh God, don't let me stick my finger in it. I think I want this, which is called Apple Orchard. Yes, I can tell you I'm going to go over, but it doesn't matter. This is called Tiara. And now I need some color. I need some pops of color with these berry tones. Let's do kind of a berry. How about this one? That one's pretty. This is Rainbow Mountain. Let's do one more. How many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Should we throw a purple in the mix? Those greens sure are pretty. That is jade. I believe that that is an AOA Studio. Gonna pass on that one. This one is very pretty. This is Bride to Be from Sydney Grace. I'm going to put this in here. I possibly may take some of those out. We'll see. I do know I have an everyday palette that I use. And I do know that I want to add this Royal Pear from Cleonda. I know that's going in there. I purposely didn't put that one away because I knew that I wanted to at least put that one in this palette. And let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Do I need one more to balance it out so I have a nice even number? What do I need? This flips green, so that can be my green. Purple, right there, keeps calling my name. But I have kind of a purple in there, and that one's kind of dark. Do I have something? That one's kind of a mauve. Or do I need something lighter, like a silver? Do I need to do a silver? Silver lining. That is a Makeup Geek when they were doing the round pans. Well, if there's nothing else standing out to me in that palette, let me go back and just look back through the other palettes to see if I see something that just stands out to me. I had talked about that pink. Let me do the pink. So there we go. Turn the lights down some to see if it will show up any better. And now let's see if I can get this all swatched out on my arm. You can't see that really on my arm, but that has a very pretty pink flip to it. That was Red Mist. How will we do the shade names again when I'm done? That's very golden, isn't it? I don't know if that's gonna work. Let's turn the light down and see if that helps it. Yeah, that's a little bit. That's good. I'm running out of room. We'll go this way. Now see, to me, that is just green. But you can see the green, but there's also pink. It's such a beautiful shade. I love that shade. So there we go. Look at that. That's Halo from Give Me Glow. This one. So pretty. My swatches don't look all that great, but I know all of these shadows perform amazing, so don't judge them by how terrible I am at doing swatches. As y'all could see, my swatches were absolutely horrible. I am not used to doing swatches. I need to practice doing me some swatches. But I love this palette so much. It is so pretty, and I just instinctively chose the shades that I wanted, and I love it. I love it. One of the things that Andi and I decided to do was to take our palette once we built it and use it. So this look that I have on now was created using my palette. I'm going to put a picture right here of all of the shades that I used to create this look. I tried to use as many as possible, so I used 9 shadows, and this is the beautiful look that I came up with. I love it. I absolutely love it. Another challenge that Andi and I were to do was to try to come up with a name for our palette, and I can't think of a name. Beautiful. It's beautiful. It's beautiful, and I love it. That's the name of my palette. The other challenge that we're going to do is we're going to use the palette, not just to build it and use it once. We are going to create 4 more looks, and we will post those looks on Instagram. I will be posting them on my Facebook page and also here on YouTube in the community tab. I believe Andi will be doing the same, so that we can see what other beautiful looks that we can create with this palette. Y'all know I'm a data nerd, so I had to figure out what this palette cost. Let me hold it up here so that y'all can get the gist of what I'm about to tell you. This palette, the retail price of this palette, and I didn't even pull up the cost of the magnetic palette. I got this off of Amazon. I will put a link to these in the description box, though. They really are nice palettes. The retail value of this palette is $143.52. Now, y'all know I don't pay full price for things. So what I paid for the shadows in here is $116.30. But still, that is very eye-opening when you go to purchase a palette and you think, holy cow, that's expensive. But if you buy single shadows, the palette is going to cost you even more. So I just thought I would throw that out there to kind of put it into context of what palettes actually, the value of them when you are looking at what the single shadows would cost you if you bought them individually. I'm going to hold this up closer so that you can see it a little bit better. I'm so excited about this palette. I can't wait to use it again. I love the look that I created. I hope that y'all enjoyed watching me build a palette. This is something that I want to do on a regular basis and get some use out of my singles, because as you can see, I have a lot of singles and they bring me so much joy. When I look at them, it just makes my heart happy. because to me, putting on makeup, and I know that if you've been with me for a hot minute, you've heard me say this before, putting on makeup is an artistic expression for me because I am an artist. I do acrylic painting, I do mixed media art, all different kinds of art. I absolutely love it. So looking at all of those shadows, all of the different shades, the tones, the mattes, the sparkle, was like looking at a big giant set of paints, and it makes me happy. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know down in the comments if you have ever built a palette out of your single shadows, or if this has inspired you to build your own palette. Also, let me know if this is something that you're interested in. My camera really struggled at that angle. I did play around with it a little bit after that and realized that I need to raise the camera up higher. So next time there won't be all of that weird zooming in and out. I'm going to have to do some creative editing to not make it look so terrible. But if you enjoyed my video, I would love it if you would show that like button some love. If you're new here, welcome. I hope that you will consider subscribing and sticking around to see what other shenanigans that I get into. I will see y'all in my next video. Love you, bye.